Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Monday Night Raw. I'm that barbecue-loving Jim Ross here at ringside with Jerry the King Lawler. And here comes the big show, the largest athlete in the world. That's a quarter ton of humanity right there, King.
If you say so, but I'm not convinced that the big show's human, JR. He looks like he should be out running around a forest, scaring campers or something.
I wouldn't say that too loud if I were you, King. When you're that big, you don't have to take a lot of baloney from anybody. And here comes the man who is challenged tonight with taking on the Big Show. It's a tall order for sure, but this is going to be one heck of a match. I can promise you that.
Yeah, I know you're pretty high on this guy, and I've got to admit, he does look impressive, but he's got his work cut out for him tonight.
That's for sure. About 7 feet and over 500 pounds of it. Ladies and gentlemen, Raw is live tonight from St. Paul, Minnesota. I'm Jim Ross, here with Jerry the King Lawler.
These Minnesota fans have been waiting a long time to see the Raw superstars in action, and I know they're not going to be disappointed.
They certainly won't, King. The Twin Cities are never going to forget the day Raw came to town. He's not going to get caught with that one. Boy, this John Cena sure is one of the most exciting young prospects in all of WWE.
Oh, come on, JR. John Cena's a thug. You know it, I know it, and all of these people know it. It makes me sick that he's allowed to be a WWE superstar.
I don't know how you can say that, King. Cena has dedicated himself to entertaining these fans, and quite frankly, I find him to have more character than many so-called respectable superstars.
There's a difference between entertaining the fans and setting a bad example, JR. I think the fact that SmackDown could ever allow John Cena to become WWE Champion is an example of why they're the #2 brand in sports entertainment.
You're not going to get me to say that SmackDown is superior to Raw. But if they were, John Cena would be a large part of the reason.
I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. It comes with the price of admission. No matter how many times I see him, I never get over the size of the Big Show. 7 feet tall, 500 pounds. That's a whole lot of superstar right there.
Oh, he's big all right, JR. He can't even go to the beach anymore because Greenpeace keeps trying to tow him back into the ocean.
You better hope that the Big Show doesn't hear you saying that, King. I'm not so sure he'd be as amused by your sense of humor as you seem to be. 3 count, but almost doesn't count. His opponent's down, and now he's sharing a piece of his mind.
He's going to have to eat those words by the end of this match, JR.
Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way. So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, he's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No, it can't be! Not the FU! You've got... There's the pin! He almost had the 3 count right there, JR.
There aren't many superstars as diversely talented as John Cena. He's as good in the ring as he is on the microphone, and that's saying something.
I won't argue with you about Cena's mic skills. He sure can't talk a good game. But when it comes right down to it, I don't think he can back it up.
King, you're as crazy as a...
Here's the cover, JR. Oh, man, that was almost 3, JR.
I think this crowd's giving these superstars a piece of their minds, King.
Are you sure they can afford it, JR? I'll agree with you about the larger part, JR. He's about as wide as he is tall. I'd say he should take up sumo wrestling, but I don't want to see him in a loincloth.
No one's ever going to accuse Big Show of being a pretty little ballerina, King. But I think he's a great deal more agile than you give him credit for.
Well, he couldn't be much less. He's got all the grace of a bull elephant and half the size. Look at this. That submission is locked in, JR, and this is a tough hold to break.
It sure is, King. And even if you break the hold, it takes its toll on you. Can his opponent kick out of this pinning predicament? He was a split second away from a 3 count.
Wow! Listen to these fans, JR!
You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the people some of the time, but there's no fooling the WWE fans at all. Excellent counter. What ring presence. Boy, when you look at these superstars, it really drives home the fact that Raw is the dominant brand of sports entertainment.
Well, there's no doubt about that, JR. There's not a superstar on the Smack. Look at the fans, JR. They know what's coming next.
They sure do. And there it is. The FU. What an impact. This is a classic matchup.
Here's the pin. Could this be it? 1, 2, 3. Hey, what do you think they're saying, JR?
I think he impressed the Big Show here tonight.
Look, it's Chavo Guerrero and Daivari, and they're beating Show's head in with lead pipes.
Big Show's too tired. He can't fight them all. What's going on here?
Come on, JR. Don't play dumb. It's obvious. He was in on the plan to jump Big Show all along.
I don't believe that for a second. He looks as confused as I am.
Hey, JR, what's Carlito doing out here?
That's it, Vince. See? I told you guys. As long as the 4 of us stick together, there's nobody on Raw that can stop us. And that's very, very cool.
I don't understand a damn bit of what just happened. We need some answers here, and soon.
Look at this, JR. He's coming out to the ring by himself tonight. What's happened to his friends Carlito, Chavo, and Daivari? You know, the ones who helped him beat the heck out of the Big Show last week.
Now, you know that's not true. I think it's pretty obvious to anyone with half a brain in their head that he had no idea what those three troublemakers had planned last week.
Well, maybe that's obvious to anyone with half a brain, but those of us who have the whole thing know that he and those other jerks are up to something.
And the opponent, from Harlem, New York, weighing in at 487 pounds, Viscera.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Raw, coming to you live from Seattle, Washington.
I don't care how rainy it gets, JR. Nothing's gonna dampen the spirits of these Seattle fans.
You're right about that, King, especially not when we got such a great show ahead of us.
So, how do you think this one's gonna turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
Well, you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself. It's all the same to you, King.
Well, from the looks of things, it's not hard to tell how this one's gonna go.
What are you talking about, King? I think this is still an extreme...
He's got his opponent locked into submission, JR. This could be it.
It could indeed. He might force his opponent to tap out right here. Boy, this John Cena sure is one of the most exciting young prospects in all of WWE.
Oh, come on, JR. John Cena's a dog. You know it. I know it. And all of these people know it. It makes me sick that he's allowed to be a WWE superstar.
I don't know how you can say that, King. Cena has dedicated himself to entertaining these fans, and quite frankly, I find him to have more character than many so-called respectable superstars.
There's a difference between entertaining the fans and setting a bad example, JR. I think the fact that SmackDown could ever allow John Cena to become WWE Champion is an example of why they're the #2 brand in sports entertainment.
You're not going to get me to say that SmackDown's superior to Raw, King. But if they were, John Cena would be a large part of the reason. Oh boy, this is not going to be an easy hole to escape from.
It sure isn't, JR. I've been on the wrong end of that one many times.
You're not going to get him with that one.
He's really cranking up the pressure on that hole, JR.
He sure is. There's no doubt he's looking for the submission right here.
I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear. This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it.
Yeah, I'm happy that I'm getting to see it too, JR. I just wish they'd pick up the pace a little.
Oh, no. This is classic old-school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
Wait a minute, JR. You're not trying to say that I'm old, are you?
Of course not, King. Although there was that rumor going around about your Social Security number was 1.
This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
You've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. He's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No, it can't be! Not the FU! Oh, boy, these fans have got something on their minds, JR.
Well, they paid for their tickets, King, and they've got a...
Here's the cover, JR!
Here comes the Big Show, and he doesn't look happy.
Well, how happy would you be if you got set up for an ambush by someone you thought you could trust?
It looks like he's trying to calm the big man down, and I'm not sure how well that's going to work.
Don't fall for it, Big Show!
My God! Big Show just chokeslammed him halfway to China.
He probably wishes he was in China right about now. The Big Show is not the kind of man you want to make angry, JR. How the heck is he going to calm down this angry giant?
I'll tell you, King, I've been hearing rumors of Big Show's mood of late, and let me tell you, they're downright scary.
Everything about the Big Show is scary when he's this angry. How many superstars would accept a 2-on-1 handicap match just to take out their frustrations on somebody?
Not very many, King, but there aren't many superstars like the Big Show either. There's no question that he is a unique and dangerous individual. You know, I used to have some respect for this superstar, but I'm sorry to say that my opinion of him has changed dramatically over the past few weeks.
Like him or not, he knows the value of strength in numbers. When you've got the Big Show mad at you, you'd better find some friends, and quick.
Maybe so, but I wish he'd be a little more discriminating in his choice of friends. Is someone like Daivari the kind of company you really want to keep? Ladies and gentlemen, Raw has come home for one of the biggest events of the year, live in the heart of New York City.
They don't come any bigger than the Big Apple, JR, and they don't get any better than the superstars of Raw.
They sure don't, King. New Yorkers don't impress easily, but there's no doubt in my mind that the Raw superstars are more than up to the task. King, is it just me, or has Daivari been a royal pain in the backside ever since he showed up here in the WWE?
Careful, JR. As royalty, I take exception to that remark. But I have to agree with you. Daivari's done a great job of making people miserable since he arrived.
Well, at least he's on SmackDown now, and this is one of the few times we'll have to pull up.
Yeah, and here's hoping he gets sent back to Friday nights with a few bruises, courtesy of Raw. You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make more sacrifices than any other professional athlete I know.
It really is like being married to your career. There's not much room for anything else.
And marriage is a And there he goes! The submission is locked in!
Oh my gosh! He might make his opponent tap right here!
Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way. I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell.
Look at the fans, JR. They know what's coming next.
They sure do. And there it is. The FU. What an impact.
His opponent telegraphed that one. He can pin him right here, JR.
Is that? No, only two.
You've got to give Big Show some credit, JR. He might be slow and clumsy, but at least he's not very bright.
Oh, you're a scream, King. I'd love to see you try to say that to the Big Show's face.
If I could figure out a way to say it using only one-syllable words, I'd do it, JR.
Gee, do you think this jerk Daivari will finally be happy if he wins this match?
I doubt it, JR. If Daivari were happy, he wouldn't have anything to complain about. And that would just make him miserable again.
Well, King, it's not often that I say this, but I can't find a single flaw in your logic.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat. No matter how many times I see it, I never get over the size of the Big Show. 7 feet tall, 500 pounds. That's a whole lot of superstar right there.
Oh, he's big, all right, JR. He can't even go to the beach anymore because Greenpeace keeps trying to tow him back into the ocean.
You better hope that the Big Show doesn't hear you saying that, King. I'm not so sure he'd be as amused. He's got his opponent in a pinning predicament.
That was so close to 3, he could taste it.
Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, Jay.
I don't think he's climbing up that point of view.
Daivari thinks that everyone hates him because he's Arab American. Nothing could be further from the truth. Everyone hates him because he's a jerk.
Yeah, and 9 times out of 10, he's got someone else doing his dirty work for him. I'm amazed he's even competing in this match.
These superstars are putting on a great match so far, JR. But if they drop the ball, these fans will let them hear about it.
I don't think that's going to happen, King. These competitors know that they're paychecks. He's got his opponent locked in a submission hold.
We can see a tap out right here, JR.
What a submission hold! Could this be a tap out?
It isn't. The hold can't be broken. You can't take this kind of pain for long.
Sounds...
His opponent's down. He's going for it.
And there it is. He's got the STFU locked in. And there's the submission. There might not be any way out of it.
There better be, but we're going to see a tap out right here.
A reversal. Can he capitalize on it? He's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No, it can't be. Not the FU. Here's the cover, JR.
1, 2, 3. Well, as if we weren't already aware, Daivari is sure full of himself.
He's full of something, all right. Oh, boy. I think Daivari's about to get what's coming to him.
And it couldn't happen to a nicer guy.
Oh, my gosh! What a choke slam!
Big Show might have just broken Daivari in half.
I think the Big Show's going to regret that, JR. The rest of Carlito's posse isn't going to take too kindly to that. I was talking to Carlito backstage, and he said that if he wanted something done right, he'd have to do it himself. That's why he challenged the Big Show to a match here tonight. Imagine that, challenging the Big Show. Now that's cool.
Yeah, to a handicap match with Chavo Guerrero and that no-good turncoat as his partners. A 3-on-1 match? That sure takes some guts. Carlito's quite a man.
From El Paso, Texas, weighing 200 pounds, Chavo Guerrero. From West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 248 pounds, John Cena.
Big Show's got his work cut out for him, King. He's facing 3 dangerous opponents here tonight.
Now, wait a second. I know this is a handicap match, but I'm sure Carlito's planning on keeping the Big Show all to himself. He just wanted his friends to have the best seats in the house.
Give me a break, King. If Carlito sets 1 foot inside the squared circle tonight once the bell rings, I'll eat my damn hat. He's a no-good coward, and you seem to be the only one who can't see that. A big raw welcome to all our fans here in Phoenix, Arizona, and around the world. This is good old JR Tim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
This place is packed, JR. And I know these fans can't wait to see the Raw superstars in action, and neither can I.
I couldn't agree more, King. We certainly appreciate the support of these great Phoenix fans, and I personally guarantee that they're going to get more than their money's worth tonight.
So, JR, are you enjoying the match so far?
Yes, I am. I think these superstars are putting on one hell of an exhibition here tonight.
What's your favorite part of it so far?
I don't think it's happened yet. My favorite part of the match would be when you quit yapping and let me enjoy it.
Now, JR, keep your words soft and sweet because you may have to eat them later. Everyone says they can't take their eyes off Chavo, JR, and neither can I. It's a good way to wind wind up having something stolen.
I beg to differ, King. I think Chavo's lying, cheating, and stealing days are long behind him. He's upholding a different sort of family tradition these days. I've had many opportunities to see Carlito up close and in person, and I have to tell you, I'm impressed with what this kid brings to the table.
What's that exactly? A bunch of half-chewed apples? What's so cool about that?
I'll tell you what's cool, King, and that's the charisma and athletic ability of this second-generation superstar.
Sorry, JR, but I just don't see it. Maybe they'll get it right with the third generation.
He's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No, it can't be! Not the FU!
This capacity crowd is making their opinions known to the...
Here's the pin! Could this be it? Was that 3? No? Come on! It looks like they've slowed the match down a little, and I think that's some good strategy right there.
It certainly is. I'm sure they're well acquainted with the old expression, fools rush in.
Is that why you always seem to be in such a hurry, JR? Uh-oh. Talk about a hole you don't want to find yourself in.
No kidding. This will rearrange your anatomy.
What? Is he nuts? He doesn't really think he's going to lift him, does he?
Well, if he did, I don't think he does anymore.
You've got to give Big Show some credit, JR. He might be slow and clumsy, but at least he's not very bright.
Oh, you're a scream, King. I'd love to see you try to say that to the Big Show's face.
If I could figure out a way to say it using only one-syllable words, I'd do it, JR.
He's got his opponent locked in a submission hold.
We can see a tap out right here, JR.
The submission is locked in. This could be huge.
Oh my gosh, JR! You can't go on without tapping out to this.
And that is not the position you want to be in when you're facing the doctor of thugonomics.
It sure isn't, JR. The STFU is locked in, and you don't see many superstars get out of this one.
Oh boy, this is not going to be an easy hole to escape from. Looks like he's trying for a pin here. I think this crowd... Come on! The match is over!
Oh, man. Talk about waking an angry giant.
A double choke slam. My God, the sheer power of the Big Show. After that display, I don't think he wants any part of the Big Show, King.
Hey, where you going? Don't you want some what your friends just got? Well, I'll tell you what. You're gonna get some next week on Raw. And just to make sure that nobody interferes, what do you say you and me make it a cage match?
Well, I don't think he likes that idea at all.
I'm not sure he's got much to say in the matter, King. This is the kind of match the Raw fans dream of. Well, it's all come down to this. And we're in for what could be the biggest main event in Raw history, King.
I think you're right, JR. For one thing, it's definitely got the biggest superstar in Raw history in it.
And nothing settles a grudge like a good old-fashioned cage match. You can either pin your opponent, make him tap, or escape the cage to win. What a slobber knocker.
And I can't remember the last time anyone was able to do any of that in a match against the Big Show. This is going to be ugly. I can feel it. Well, the only thing I've got to say is, I hope his health insurance is paid up.
And his life insurance, for that matter. Getting into a cage with a Big Show seems like pure suicide. But this man made his bed, and now he's going to have to lie in it.
Well, it's not like he had a choice. Big Show bullied him into this match by throwing his weight around. And that's a lot of weight.
Of course he had a choice, King. And unfortunately for him, he chose to get on the wrong side of the Big Show. And now it's time to pay the piper. And quite frankly, I can't wait. Welcome to Raw, coming to you from the land of the Razorbacks, Little Rock, Arkansas. Jim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler.
Little Rock can't wait to see the Raw Superstars. This show's been sold out for weeks.
These Little Rock fans know that Raw never disappoints, and tonight is no exception. I can't wait to get started.
I've got to say, JR,
He's taken every advantage in this matchup, and it looks like he plans on taking a few more.
if he's not the dirtiest player in the game, JR, he's a shoo-in for second place. This match has the potential to be an instant.
Oh, would you look at this. Talk about arrogant. It's sickening.
Come on, JR. It's not enough just to win a match. You've got to make it clear who's the dominant superstar.
No, no. How can a referee allow something like that?
Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision. You're not going to get any pity from the steel cage.
This is a vicious, brutal match. He's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No, it can't be. Not the FU. It looks like they've slowed the match down a little. And I think that's some good strategy right there.
It certainly is. I'm sure they're well acquainted with the old expression, fools rush in.
Look, JR, he's trying to get out. I think these superstars are getting some feedback from the crowd, JR.
Nothing wrong with that, King. That's what we like to hear.
It's a long way down from the top of the cage, even if you win. I don't believe it. He did it. He beat the Big Show in a cage match.
And that puts his name on a very short list, King. And whether or not you agree with his methods, when push came to shove, he pulled out all the stops.
Well, just because he won, I don't think he's going to make a habit out of messing with the Big Show. But then, I don't think Big Show's going to look for a rematch either. Not after that match.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Night Raw. This is Tim Ross here at ringside with Jerry the King Lawler. We're just 1 month away from WrestleMania, and here's the man who'll be going to the granddaddy of them all as the #1 contender for Triple H's WWE title.
And what a match that's going to be, JR. But WrestleMania is still 4 weeks away. And if I were him, I'd stay focused on his match right here tonight.
That's some good advice, King. If the challenger isn't fully prepared to meet the monster he's getting in the ring with here tonight, he might not make it to WrestleMania.
And the opponent, weighing 326 pounds, Kane.
Good old JR, Tim Ross here with Jerry the King Lawler, welcoming you to Raw live from Los Angeles, California.
I love this town, JR. And I hope I get a chance to audition some young starlets later.
Boy, you just never stop, do you, King? Personally, I'm looking forward to tonight's show. I think it's going to be a real barn burner. What a reversal. I tell you, King, sometimes I get exhausted just watching these superstars compete.
I know what you mean, JR. I don't think most people appreciate what incredible athletes these WWE superstars really are.
You've got to have some excellent conditioning to be able to do what they do.
Well, that's the name of the game, JR. You gotta keep moving. No dog ever peed on a moving car.
Oh, that's a lovely answer, King. I'd ask you where you come up with this stuff, but I don't think I want to know, quite frankly.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like when you're in the middle of a slobber knock. And when you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough. I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. I've got to say, JR, I'm really impressed by what we've seen here tonight.
How could you not be, King? These are some of the finest athletes in all of sports entertainment.
I know that, JR. I'm just saying that this has been a great match so far.
It has indeed, King, and I think it's only going to get better from here on out. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way.
There aren't many superstars as diversely talented as John Cena. He's as good in the ring as he...
Look at the fans, JR. They know what's coming next.
They sure do. And there it is. The FU. What an impact.
Here's the pin. Could this be it?
Is that? No, only two.
So, how do you think this one's going to turn out, JR?
Honestly, King, I have absolutely no idea. Anything can happen here in the WWE.
But you've got to have a guess, right?
I might, but I'd rather keep it to myself if it's all the same to you, King.
I'm not sure I agree with...
His opponent's down, and now he's sharing a piece of his mind.
He's going to have to eat those words by the end of this match, JR. He reversed it!
And that is not the position you want to be in when you're facing the doctor of thugonomics.
It sure isn't, JR. The STFU is locked in, and you don't see many superstars get out of this one.
And now a pin. This could be it. He almost got the 3 count, but almost doesn't count. Boy, what a match. I wouldn't even hazard a guess as to who's going to win this thing.
What? Have you got both your contacts in one eye, JR? It's been obvious to me since the start of the match.
Oh, really? Well, then, why don't you just enlighten the rest of us, King?
No way! I can already tell this is going to be a great match, and I don't want to ruin the ending for you.
You're too kind, King. You're also full of horse manure, as far as I can tell. He's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No! It can't be! Not the FU!
I don't even...
He's a 3 count away from a pinfall! It's the game! Triple H! What do you think is on the WWE Champion's mind?
Wow, what an impressive match. Is it too late for me to back out of WrestleMania?
Well, it seems like the champion's attitude hasn't improved since the last time we saw him.
If that's all you're gonna bring to the main event of WrestleMania, you might as well not even lace up your damn boots. You see this? This doesn't leave my waist unless I say it does. It's called the Champion's Advantage. If I get disqualified, I keep the title, and you get Jack. But I got a deal for you. You go to SmackDown this Friday night and send my ungrateful ex-protege Randy Orton a message. You pin him 1, 2, 3, and I'll make our title match a no DQ match. But if you screw up, you're not getting a damn thing from me, except the beating of your life at WrestleMania.
The game has offered his challenger a deal with the devil. Will he accept?
He's not a fool. If he's serious about winning at WrestleMania, this is just too good a deal to pass up.
Well, we've just received word that SmackDown General Manager Theodore Long has in fact agreed to this match as a way to cross-promote WrestleMania. And this man, Randy Orton, certainly seems up to the challenge.
Orton's not sweating nothing, Cole. This kid has gone toe-to-toe with the biggest legends in this business, and he ain't gonna back down from some clown from Raw. I mean, let's face it. He may be the #1 contender on Raw, but this ain't Raw. This is SmackDown. SmackDown won't be intimidated by some Raw contender, and neither will Randy Orton.
As you mentioned, he's the #1 contender for Triple H's WWE title, Taz, but he's here to take on Randy Orton at Triple H's urging.
Yeah, how messed up is that? Who takes orders from the guy they're gonna be fighting for the title?
Good evening to our fans from Vancouver, British Columbia. Michael Cole and Taz at ringside, and what a show we've got for you tonight. Hey, partner?
Hey, Cole, it's pretty funny you said, hey. You know, like the Canadians, they always go, hey. You know, hey.
What can I say, Taz? The enthusiasm of these Vancouver fans is contagious. I can't remember the last time I saw a crowd this pumped up for SmackDown action.
He slipped out of that one. You know, Cole, I'd ask you who you were pulling for in this match, but I think it's pretty obvious since the beginning who you're rooting for.
I never claimed to be completely objective, Taz. It's no secret I respect superstars who stick within the rules and show some sportsmanship in the ring.
You gotta understand, Cole, I know it ain't exactly kosher, but you're putting your body on the line in that. You gotta do whatever it takes to protect yourself and pick up the win.
Taz, you're talking about two different things. Going outside the rules in the name of self-defense is one thing, but cheating to steal a victory and enhance your own career is something completely different. This capacity crowd is making their opinions known tonight.
No surprise there, Cole. The WWE fans ain't exactly known for keeping their opinions to themselves. Man, I'll tell you what, man, this one's just turned into a fight. Pure and simple.
We knew it was going to be intense. We knew it was going to be physical. But I don't think anyone was prepared for this.
I gotta admit, it kind of took me by surprise, Cole. That don't happen too often.
That's an understatement. You've been in hundreds of matches in your career. We've both called hundreds more. We usually have a pretty good idea of what to expect, but not this time.
I guess it just goes to show you, Cole, like they say, anything can happen here in the WWE.
I think these fans know what's coming next.
You know it, Cole. The F.U. Man, get a load of that power.
It sounds like this capacity crowd has something on their minds. He's going for the pin. This could be it.
Here's your winner, John Cena!
How do you think Batista feels about Triple H sending Raw's #1 contender fresh off a fight with Randy Orton after him, Taz?
I bet he's about as confused as I am, Cole. I still think you gotta be nuts to listen to anything Triple H says, especially if you're about to fight him for the title.
This is the second week he's come over from Raw to challenge one of Triple H's former Evolution teammates. And I can't say I blame him. Triple H has offered him quite an incentive.
Yeah, if he wins here tonight, he gets his choice of a match at WrestleMania. But I still smell a rat, Cole. If you ask me, I think he's making a big mistake invading SmackDown's turf like this.
Good evening to our fans from Vancouver, British Columbia. Michael Cole and Taz at ringside, and what a show we've got for you tonight. Hey, partner?
Hey, Cole, it's pretty funny you said, hey. You know, like the Canadians, they always go, hey. You know, hey.
What can I say, Taz? The enthusiasm of these Vancouver fans is contagious. I can't remember the last time I saw a crowd this pumped up for SmackDown action.
Well, it looks like they're slowing the pace down a little bit here. That might not be such a good move in my opinion.
Come on, you just can't keep going non-stop. That's a good way to wear yourself out and make a critical mistake.
No, but you can't give the opponent any time to recover neither. You gotta stay on them and wear them down.
But what about picking your spot? If you try to execute a badly timed move just because you want to stay on offense, that can have a disastrous result.
I'll tell you what, Cole. Let me talk about what it's like to be in a match like this, and you can cover what it's like to whiten your teeth. Deal? You feel like a real jerk when somebody counters you like that.
And the crowd has come alive tonight with a chant directed at the super...
Nice quick counter.
It's been a long time since I saw a crowd get behind a superstar the way they have John Cena.
Yeah, that's great, Cole. No doubt the WWE fans, they love John Cena. I get that. But this is not a popularity contest. It's a physical, athletic competition.
I don't think Cena's got any problem being physical either, Taz. There aren't many superstars who've accomplished what he has between those ropes.
These superstars have been going on all match.
They sure have. And that's where the superb conditioning of the WWE superstars comes into play.
No doubt, Cole. There ain't no way you're going to win a match if you're out of gas 2 minutes into it.
You can say that again. I've seen matches won and lost simply because...
I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Nothing costs you a match quicker than overconfidence.
What are you talking about? I see a dominant superstar who's... I think these fans know what's coming next.
You know it, Cole. The F.U. Man, get a load of that power.
He may get the 3 count right here. Kicked out just in the nick of time. It sounds like this capacity crowd has something on their minds, Taz.
Yeah, and thousands of paying customers can't be wrong. These WWE fans just can't get enough of these superstars.
And I'm glad to see it. A WWE match isn't just about competition, it's also about entertaining the fans.
Okay, well, if that's the case, how come they got you as an announcer? I mean, that ain't exactly great entertainment, in my opinion.
You might be right, Taz. I think it would be extremely entertaining to listen to you try to call a match all by yourself.
It's so great seeing these athletes compete here tonight. I had a feeling they were going to wind up against each other sooner or later.
There were times when it seemed like it wasn't going to happen, but I can't tell you how glad I am that it did.
That's for sure. You know, anytime you throw these kind of combustible elements into a match, you're guaranteed to get a hell of a show.
And that's exactly what we're seeing here tonight.
I think we know where he's going with this, Cole.
Here it comes. The F.U. He just drove his opponent straight into the ground. I think we're hearing the First Amendment in action here tonight.
Here's the pin. This could be it.
He spent the last couple of weeks stirring the pot on SmackDown at the behest of WWE Champion Triple H. but it seems to me that the shoe's on the other foot tonight.
This is great! He's gonna have a chance to embarrass not one, but two of SmackDown's top superstars right here tonight on Raw.
There's no question why they call this man the cerebral assassin. He's had the #1 contender for his own title doing his dirty work for him for weeks now.
You're only telling half the story, JR. Triple H offered him some pretty nice perks for doing those favors. And when you're facing the game for the title at WrestleMania, you gotta take every advantage you can get.
All right, Triple H, I've played your little game, and now I want what's coming to me. Way I figure it, we got some business to settle. And it's all about our title match at WrestleMania.
Fine with me. You know, I gotta admit, I didn't expect you to be able to handle Batista the way you did last week. And that chair shot to Orton was just priceless. And now I'm starting to regret making the offer that I made. But as you know, I'm a man of my word. So what's it gonna be, chump? When you step into the ring with the game for the greatest prize in this industry, in the biggest match of all time, what kind of match is it gonna be?
It's been a while since we've seen SmackDown's Randy Orton on Raw, King. It looks to me that the Legend Killer is ready and spoiling for a fight.
Yeah, but he's getting into the ring with a man with whom he shares a lot of history and one historic grudge, Triple H.
Good Lord! It's been so long since I've seen Batista up close and in person that I forgot what a physical specimen he is. I think he's only gotten more impressive, and that's saying something.
He may be an animal, but don't forget, Triple H taught Batista everything Batista knows. Unfortunately for Batista, Triple H didn't teach him everything Triple H knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to another sold-out Raw event from Portland, Oregon.
Well, it's been too long since Raw has come to Portland, JR. These fans are going crazy.
No! How can a referee allow something like that?
Come on, JR. You know that the referee's health plan doesn't include vision. I've got to say, JR, I'm really impressed by what we've seen here tonight.
How could you not be, King? These are some of the finest athletes in all of sports entertainment.
I know that, JR. I'm just saying that this has been a great match so far.
It has indeed, King, and I think it's only going to get better from here on out. These superstars are going to put each other through wrestling hell tonight.
They've already got a pretty good start on that, JR.
They have indeed, King. I don't think there's an ounce of quit between them.
Yeah, and that's where things get dangerous. If you're too proud to admit that it's not your night, you might wind up risking your career for a single match.
But at the same time, King, no one makes it up the ladder without pushing themselves to the very limit. It's a very fine line to walk. Well, you can't ever accuse the WWE fans of being shy about saying what's on their minds.
You sure can, JR, and I don't think we'd have it any other way.
Boy, when you look at these superstars, it really drives home the fact that Raw is the dominant brand of sports entertainment.
Oh, there's no doubt about that, JR. There's not a superstar on the SmackDown roster who could hold a candle to Raw's finest.
I wouldn't go that far, King. There are quite a few SmackDown superstars who I'd love to have on Raw.
Oh, come on, JR. Why would you want to lower the tone of the Raw locker room by bringing in some losers from SmackDown? Looks like they got the tag, JR. Looking forward to this match all night, JR. I can't believe it's finally underway.
This has been a hotly anticipated contest. And as far as I'm concerned, it's living up to the hype.
No question about that, JR. The fans certainly seem to be into it, that's for sure.
And when it comes down to it, that's all that matters.
I think it's pretty obvious which way this one's going to go, JR.
Well, from my perspective, this is still anybody's match.
I'd like to see things from your perspective, JR, but I'd have to get my head out of my rear end first.
And Lord knows it's been up there for so long that that would be no easy feat.
Look at this, JR. Can you imagine SmackDown putting on a match half as good as this?
No disrespect intended on SmackDown colleagues, but no, I can't think. I truly believe Raw is the dominant brand in sports entertainment.
And you hit the nail right on the head there, JR. The dominant brand. Not the slightly better brand or the sort of superior brand.
Absolutely not. I'm a Raw man, and I have to believe...
He could pin him right here, JR.
What a reversal.
These fans can't stand it when he does this, JR, but I think it's great.
He's sure not going to win over any fans with that move, but I don't think that bothers him too much, quite frankly.
It's like he read his opponent's mind.
I tell you, King, sometimes I get
Here's the cover, JR. I'd ask you who you want to win this matchup, JR, but it's been pretty obvious since the start of the show who you're pulling for.
I'm trying to remain as objective as I can, King. Quite frankly, I'd rather see a good competitive matchup than see a particular superstar win or lose this thing.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows you play favorites. You're always trying to kiss up to the fans by talking up whoever they're cheering for.
I've never been a kiss-up in my life, King, which is more than I can say for some people. I call them like I see them, and I'm flattered that the WWE fans agree with me as often as they do.
I don't know how much more of this I can stand to listen to, JR. You know what the difference between you and I-95 is? You can turn off I-95. Look at the fans, JR. They know what's coming next.
They sure do, and there it is, the FU. What an impact!
What a counter!
Looks like he's trying for a pin here. What a match that was, King. Orton and Batista are going to be bringing some bruises back with them to SmackDown, that's for sure.
They went through the ringer, no doubt about it. Triple H has risked his champion's advantage at WrestleMania for the sake of teaching his former Evolution teammates a lesson. Talk about holding a grudge.
And now I have to wonder whether or not Triple H might have given up too much.
Oh my gosh!
Damn it, I knew it was too good to be true. Triple H is going after him with that damn sledgehammer.
Triple H is absolutely destroying his WrestleMania challenger with that sledgehammer.
This just isn't right. But considering his recent actions, there might be some unsympathetic SmackDown fans in the crowd.
Did he really think Triple H wasn't just waiting for his chance to do something like that? They're competing for the WWE title at WrestleMania this Sunday.
It comes only once a year, the showcase of the Immortals. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the main event of WrestleMania. I'm ready, the King is ready, and despite the events that transpired last week, you better believe that this superstar is ready for the fight of his life.
You know, JR, after what Triple H did to him with that sledgehammer on Monday, I can't believe he's even standing, let alone walking down the ramp for a title match at WrestleMania.
That's the fighting heart of a champion, King. You can't pass up an opportunity like this one. And I have to believe he's got some payback in mind for Triple H. The Cerebral Assassin's going to WrestleMania as the WWE Champion. But will he leave here tonight with his title? We've seen his maneuvering over the past few weeks in anticipation of this match. But you have to wonder if Triple H has lit a fire under his opponent that started to burn out of the game's control.
You're kidding, right? My money's on Triple H. I mean, let's face it. He suckered his opponent into running himself ragged doing his dirty work all month.
I hate to agree with that, King, but you might be right. Triple H knows he's injured, and now he's easy pickings for the game. he countered that and made it look easy.
So, JR, are you enjoying the match so far?
Yes, I am. I think he's got that submission hold locked in.
He sure does, JR. He might make his opponent tap out right here. I've been looking forward to this match all night, JR. I can't believe it's finally underway.
This has been a hotly anticipated contest. And as far as I'm concerned, it's living up to the hype.
No question about that, JR. The fans certainly seem to be into it, that's for sure.
And when it comes down to it, that's all that matters.
Did you ever think you'd be watching these superstars compete against each other here tonight, JR?
I had a feeling their paths were going to cross sooner or later, and I'm glad I'm here to see it.
Me too. It almost makes it worth having to sit next to you and listen to those corny expressions of yours. What the heck is a government mule anyway?
It's what you get beat like. We're in the middle of a summer night. And when you don't have the guts to stick around, you might run like a scalded dog with a case of the limber tape.
All right, enough! I'm getting a translator before I have to come out here with you again. Listen to the crowd, JR. I think they've got something to say to these superstars.
And if they're smart, they'll listen. He's a slippery devil.
You gotta respect the commitment and the dedication of these superstars to their careers.
No question about it, King. Every superstar on the roster has had to make...
Oh boy, this looks like an all or nothing move. Boy, this John Cena is his own biggest fan. How come all of these rappers can't talk about anything except how great they are?
I don't think there's anything wrong with that, King. Cena's got some impressive accomplishments to his credit. I think he's got every right to be proud.
Well, you know what they say, JR. Pride goes before a fall. And from the looks of things, John Cena's got a heck of a fall ahead of him.
Excellent counter. What ring presence. He's got his opponent in position. I think he's going for it.
No, it can't be. Not the FU.
I think this crowd's giving these superstars a piece of their mind, King.
Are you sure they can afford it, JR? We could have a pinfall here, JR.
He was a split second away from a 3 count.
This has gone beyond just being a match, JR. I think these superstars genuinely hate each other.
There's no love lost between these competitors, that's for sure. If looks could kill, somebody would be pushing up daisies right now.
And you've got to admit, that makes for a much more interesting match, JR.
It sure does. But I just hope these superstars can settle their differences in the ring and leave it at that. There aren't many superstars as diversely talented as John Cena. He's as good in the ring as he is on the microphone, and that's saying something.
I won't argue with you about Cena's mic skills. He sure can't talk a good game. But when it comes right down to it, I don't think he can back it up.
King, you're as crazy as a pet coon. Did you happen to notice that Cena held the WWE and United States titles? Seems to me like he's got no problem putting his money where his mouth is.
Wow! Listen to these fans, JR!
You can fool some of the people all of the time, and all the people some of the time, but there's no fooling the WWE fans at all.
I've got to say, JR, I'm really impressed by what we've seen here tonight.
How could you not be, King?
Look at the fans, JR! They know what's coming next!
They sure do, and there it is, the FU! What an impact! This could be a pinfall! There's the kick out. I thought that was it for sure.
Looks like someone's heading for the high-rent district.
This is a classic matchup, King. I'm so glad the WWE fans are getting the chance to see it.
Yeah, and I'm happy that I'm getting to see it too, JR. I just wish they'd pick up the pace a little more.
Oh, no. This is classic old-school wrestling at its finest. You, of all people, should be able to appreciate that, King.
Wait a minute, JR. You're not trying to say that I'm old, are you?
Of course not, King. Although there was that rumor going around about your Social Security number was 1.
I'm not sure I agree with what the crowd is chanting, JR, but I guess it's their right.
You're damn right it is. Can his opponent kick out of this pitting predicament? He did it! He did it! A new champion is crowned right here on the grandest stage of them all. My God, what a match!
I don't believe it. How the heck did he pull that off?
I have no earthly idea, King. It seems practically superhuman. But one thing's for sure. He beat the game at his own game.
Yeah, and how many superstars